for this Everybody Yoga class. Before we begin, let's just take a moment to clear our minds. Just trying to forget about everything else that we might have done or have to do later today. Just taking our time now to take everything out, just focusing on our breath and our movement for the next hour. Maybe taking a deep breath and just letting everything go. And then getting started with a deep breathing exercise first. We're going to bring our feet close together. And for this breathing exercise, we'll inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. So standing up nice and tall first. Just kind of gripping the toes down into the mat. We're going to engage the muscles in the thighs, squeezing the glutes, holding in the stomach strong, rolling the shoulders back. As we inhale, we're going to bring the arms out wide. Our eyes will just follow the hands as the palms touch. And then exhale through the nose, bringing the arms back out wide, tucking the chin as we bring the hands one in front of the other. Inhale again, still keeping those legs strong and active as we reach the rib cage up. Exhale, lengthening through the spine as we stretch the neck down. Maybe opposite hand in front each time. Inhale again. And exhale, pulling in the belly, getting all the air out. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath in this set. Inhale, reaching the arms up, lifting the rib cage up. Exhale, pulling in the belly as we lengthen through the spine. Now inhaling the same on this next set, bringing the arms out wide. And then as we exhale, we're going to pivot forward, holding in the stomach strong, bringing the hands together up into the chest in that prayer-like position. And then inhale back up, holding in the stomach strong all the way up. Exhale, coming forward, holding in the belly, bending the knees as much as we need to keep that back flat. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Reaching up. Exhale as we come forward, holding in the belly strong. One more inhale in this set. And exhale. We're going right into the last set. We're going to inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale, coming all the way down this time with the hands to the floor, bending the knees as much as we need. And then inhale with a flat back, keeping the fingertips on the floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, coming forward again. Bending those knees as much as we need. Inhale, just trying to keep the fingertips at least pointing towards the floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up, holding in the stomach strong. And then one more time. Exhale. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. And exhale, let the arms float down. Let the legs relax. Let all the muscles relax between each pose, but just trying to find your stillness. All right. So keeping that same foundation with our feet close together, we're going to stand up nice and tall for chair pose. So inhaling the arms straight up to 12 o'clock. We're going to exhale, sitting the hips back, holding in the stomach strong, and letting the chest come forward. So we're really trying to keep the arms in line with the ears here. We're holding in the stomach strong as we keep sitting the hips back, reaching the arms forward and up. And then just looking down at the ground, trying to keep that neck in line with the spine. And focusing on your breath here. Inhaling as you keep reaching the arms forward and up. Exhale as you sit your hips maybe back a little bit more. One more breath here. And then inhaling all the way back up. We're going to bring the hands together now, down into the chest. Inhale, lengthening up through the spine. And then as we exhale, really pressing those hands together, holding in the stomach strong, we're going to sit the hips back again. Taking another big inhale here, just lengthening through the spine. And then on our exhale breath, we're going to twist to the left, bringing that right elbow down. So noticing the knees here, trying to keep the knees in line, making sure that right knee doesn't come forward. And then really pressing the hands together, holding in the stomach as we twist, twist, twist to the left. All right, and then inhaling all the way back up, taking a breath here. And then coming towards the top of our mat now, standing up nice and tall. We're going to inhale the arms straight up to 12 o'clock. And then exhale, back with the left foot at an angle, keeping the shoulders towards the front as we bend into this right knee for warrior one. So adjusting our feet as we need to, and then focusing on our breath here as we inhale, reaching the arms up, looking up. And as you exhale, keep pressing the feet into the ground, maybe bringing the thumbs towards the back, just being mindful of your own spine, doing what feels right for you today. Breathing here, focusing on the breath as you keep pressing those feet into the ground. Keep reaching the arms up. Legs and arms are super strong and active. Now, opening up for warrior two, we're going to bring the right arm in front, the left arm behind us. Just relaxing the shoulders, but keeping the arms super strong and active. Turning the head, looking over the right fingertips. Maybe coming a little bit deeper into your stance, bending more into that right knee. Focusing on the breath here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. All right, then relaxing the arms down, straightening the legs. We're going to keep the legs separate and just turn towards the side on your mat. Turning the toes outward now at an angle. Standing up nice and tall. We're going to bring the hands together in this prayer-like position and then start to bend in the knees. And then really pressing those hands together, engaging all the muscles in the stomach and chest, engaging the shoulders, and then just focusing on your breath here as you keep breathing. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Always noticing those knees too. So adjusting the feet as you need to. Maybe coming a little bit deeper into your stance. Breathing here. One more deep breath. Even digging those toes into the ground. You might feel it activate more of the inner thigh muscles. Now straightening the legs. We're going to relax the arms down. Turning the toes inward now. Just getting the outside edge of the feet parallel with the mat. We're going to bring the arms out wide. Inhale, lengthening up. And then as we exhale, coming forward, bending in the knees as much as we need to get our hands to the outside of the feet or ankles, or maybe just bringing them down to the floor. And then trying to let the head relax. No tension in the neck, letting the head hang, just lengthening through the spine. And just letting gravity do the work, or you might gently pull yourself down a little bit more. Slowly inhaling back up, bending in the knees as much as you need. We're going to bring our feet and hands together. Exhale, let the arms float down. All right, so turning back towards the top of your mat again. We're going to do it all again on the other side. So starting with the warrior one and warrior two poses, standing up nice and tall. We're going to inhale the arms up to 12 o'clock again. Exhale back with the right foot this time, placing it down at an angle again. Bringing those shoulders to the front as we bend into the left knee. Adjusting our feet, taking our time here to get this foundation right. And then breathing as we inhale, reaching the arms up. Looking up to the ceiling. Bringing those thumbs towards the back. And if you ever have any shoulder issues or shoulder pain, you can always just keep your hands together if this is too much for you, or even doing a little bit of both. Breathing here, keeping those legs strong. Keeping them active as you lift up out of the ribs. Waist. Breathing here. And then opening up, bringing that left arm in front, right arm behind us for warrior two. Keeping those shoulders relaxed, but keeping the arms active as we turn the head, looking over the front fingertips. Breathing here. Just keep lengthening up through that spine, like we're reaching the head up to the ceiling, and then pressing those feet into the ground. All right, relaxing the arms for a breath. We'll straighten the legs, and then turning the toes sideways, outwards again. Standing up nice and tall. We're going to do goddess pose, but with the cactus arms this time. So bringing our arms up like in these 90-degree angles, and then bending in the knees, getting those feet in the right place first. And then we're going to inhale, lengthening up through the spine. And as we exhale, twisting to the left, holding in the stomach strong. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, twist to the right. Not worrying so much about the arms. Inhale, focusing on the stomach as we exhale and twist. Inhale, back to center. One more exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to the center. Then let the arms relax, straighten the legs. And then turning the toes in again, getting the outside edge of the feet parallel with the mat. This time we're going to bring the arms behind us. It's getting an interlaced grip with the fingers if you can. If this is too much for the shoulders, you can take, if you have a yoga strap or even just a belt or something, you can grab this from behind and hold that instead. And then just lengthening up through the spine, inhaling as we roll the shoulders down and back. And then as we exhale, coming forward. This time we're going to keep the legs straight, so you may not come down as far. And then just breathing here. If it feels okay, you might lift that fist or the strap with the hands away from the back. Just doing what feels okay for your shoulders. Still letting the head relax. And then slowly inhaling back up, releasing that grip on the way. We'll step our feet, bring our hands together for one big breath. Exhale, letting the arms float down. All right, so coming back up towards the top of your mat now. Standing up nice and tall as we always start the poses. Stepping this left foot back at an angle. And then before we get into this pose, just noticing we don't want the heels exactly in one line, so we're going to walk the right foot over just a little bit to the right. And then bringing the hips back towards the front, shoulders towards the front. We're going to inhale the arms up, letting the palms touch, but then just crossing the thumbs. This pose is called separate leg, forehead to knee. So instead of having a straight spine like we normally do, we're going to try and really round the spine. So we're going to inhale, reaching up tall first. And then as we exhale, it's like we're diving into a pool, but we're going to really tuck that chin on the way and start to round the spine. Coming all the way down, bending this front knee as much as we need to so we can get the hands down to the floor. And we're going to either keep them together in that prayer position or bring them to either side of the foot. And then wherever our hands are, we're going to press the fingers into the ground as we really tuck that chin, rounding the spine, pushing the spine up to the ceiling, trying to get that forehead to the knee. And then a modification you can do to help is bending that knee and just making a fist with the right hand, putting that fist on the knee. You might even bring both hands to the knee, trying to get your forehead to the fist then. All right, inhaling back up, bringing those hands back together. And then once we get up to the top, we're going to separate the hands to 12 o'clock, just pivoting on this toe behind us, bending into the right knee. So this is kind of like Warrior One that we were doing earlier, but now we've got the back on the toes of our back feet. And we're going to inhale, reaching up. We've got our balance, okay? We're going to look up to the ceiling, or again, we can keep looking forward. You can bring the hands into prayer position. Breathing here. Trying to get that back leg as straight and strong as we can. And then bringing the hands down into our chest. We'll inhale, lengthening back up. Exhale, holding in the stomach as we come forward and twist to the right. Trying to make that elbow to knee connection or just twisting that direction. You might even be able to get the elbow to the outside of the knee. Breathing here. All right, lowering down to this left knee now. We're going to uncurl the toes behind us. Bringing the hands to the inside of the right leg here for dragon pose. And there's lots of different variations of this, so just really doing what feels okay for you. We're going to try and first just go right here. You might stay right here today, or if you want to walk this foot forward a little bit, adding the stretch to the back leg. You might even lower down to the elbows. And just breathing here. Maybe walking the right foot over a little bit to the right, just trying to keep the spine and everything in line with that leg behind you. And just focusing on the breath. Maybe slowing the breath down a little bit. And then bringing the hands back up. We're going to slowly come back, bringing this right leg around behind us. Coming onto all fours for cat and cow stretch. So we're going to do 3 deep breaths. These are actually 2 different poses. Separating the knees to about underneath the hips. Wrists are about underneath the shoulders. For the inhale, we're going to drop the belly, lift the head and tailbone. And then as we exhale, rounding the spine as we tuck the chin and tailbone. Inhale again, looking up, stretching up. And then exhale, really pushing the hands and shoulders away. Inhale one more time, nice slow movement with the breath. Exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the chin and tailbone strong. And then inhale, just coming back to the middle. And then sitting our hips back now. We're gonna keep the feet together, but your knees can be together or separated for wide knees, child's pose. I'm just starting with the arms stretched out in front. I'm gonna bring the forehead down to the ground. And just take a deep breath here. Your arms can be stretched straight out in front of you, or you might have the elbows bent. And if your forehead doesn't reach the ground comfortably, you might cross your arms and just rest your head on the back of the hands. And then keeping your hands there, or as you're ready, you can bring the arms back beside you. You can also, if you have a rolled blanket or a towel, press this under your forehead. We want our forehead to rest onto something, so if it doesn't reach the ground, just finding something to put under the head. And then just letting the shoulders fall forward. Try to take a few slow breaths here as we stretch the spine and hips. And as we inhale back up, we'll bring the hands by the knees, just supporting us as we inhale back up. And then walking back forward with the hands, coming under our hands and knees again. We're going to curl the toes under behind us, lifting our hips up for our first downward dog. So bringing the feet and hands towards the edges of the mat, doing what feels okay to the shoulders. If it feels all right, we're going to gently press the shoulders back towards the hips as we lengthen through the spine and neck. Or just engaging through those shoulders if we've got any kind of shoulder pain. And then slowly walking our feet up towards the hands towards the feet. We'll inhale slowly back up, holding in the stomach. Exhale, let everything relax. All right, so now coming back up to the top of the mat again. Standing up nice and tall, we're gonna step back with the right foot this time, placing it at an angle. Bringing those hips and shoulders back to the front. Walking this left foot over a little bit to the left, just so we've got that space between the heels again. And then inhale, bringing the arms up, letting the palms touch. Crossing the thumb, maybe opposite thumb this time. Inhale, reaching up tall. And then as we exhale, tucking that chin, rounding the spine on the way down. Trying to get the fingers either in front of that big toe or separating them to either side of the foot. And then tucking that chin, rounding the spine, holding in the stomach strong, trying to get that forehead to the knee, or as close as we can. And then again, we might bring the left hand up to the knee, bending that knee as much as we need. And then trying to get the forehead to that fist. Maybe bringing both hands to the knee, just helping to get that throat lock, massaging the thyroid glands. We're going to inhale, coming slowly back up, bringing the hands back together if you've separated them. And then bringing them to 12 o'clock at the top. We're going to pivot on this foot behind us, coming onto that toe, and bending into the left knee. And again, if we're out of balance here, we're going to walk the left foot over a little bit more to the left. And then inhale, reaching the arms up, either looking forward or challenging our balance by looking up to the ceiling. Breathing here, really lifting up out of the waist. Trying to keep that back leg as straight and strong as we can as we keep pushing through that heel. Maybe bending a little bit more into this front knee. One more breath here. Now bringing the hands together into that chest. Inhale, lengthening up. And then as we exhale, coming forward and then twisting to the left. Trying to make that elbow to knee connection. Holding the stomach as we twist, looking to the left. Maybe even getting that elbow to the outside of the leg. All right, looking back forward, we're gonna lower down to this right knee now, uncurling the toe on that right foot, bringing the hands to the inside of the left leg for dragon stretch. So again, we can just stay right here, just trying to get a stretch in this left thigh. You might just bend in the elbows from here, or you can slide the right leg back or walk the left leg forward, adding the stretch to this back thigh. Maybe even lowering to the elbows. And then just focusing on your breath. We sometimes hold the breath when we're not even thinking about it, so just making sure you're breathing those slow breaths. And slowly coming back up, putting a lot of weight into your hands so you don't pull anything in the leg. We're going to bring this leg back around behind us, sitting the hips back again for child's pose. Starting with the arms stretched out in front again. This time we're going to bring the arms over to the side. So walking the arms over to the right side. Still just letting our head relax to the ground if we can. Or taking that blanket or towel. And then you might even, if you want more of a stretch on that left side, you can cross the left hand over the right. And then slowly walking the hands back to the center, over to the left side. You can have straight arms or bent arms. You might notice one side being way tighter than the other side. That's normal, just seeing how that changes over time. Then bringing those hands back towards the center, back by your knees. We'll inhale, coming slowly back up. Exhale, let everything relax. And coming back onto our hands and knees now. Walking the hands back forward, separating the knees a little bit, curling the toes under. We'll lift our hips again for one downward dog. Just taking one deep breath here as you lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the backs of the legs. And then walking our feet back up. We'll inhale slowly back up. Exhale, let everything relax. Now doing a balancing stick pose. So we're going to stand towards the center of your mat. Just making sure you don't have anything behind you that you're going to kick into. Standing up nice and tall. We're going to inhale the arms up. Just letting the palms touch, but then getting an interlaced grip with the fingers and releasing the index fingers. We're going to reach those arms up tall. Trying to get those arms and squeeze them to the ears. We're going to start by pointing the left toes behind us, then getting that leg super strong. Reaching up, inhaling, and then as we exhale, we're going to start to come forward. We may even just go right here today. We're going to flex the toes back behind us, kicking through that heel. Or you might slowly start to come down further. Maybe eventually coming down to being parallel above the ground. Just focusing on your breath as you reach the arms forward, reach the leg back. Breathing here. Inhaling back up. Letting the arms relax for breath. Maybe just keeping the hands interlaced. And then stepping the right foot back now. Getting that leg super straight and strong as we reach the arms back up. Squeezing the arms to the ears as we inhale, lengthening up. And then exhale, starting to come forward. Flexing the toes back behind us as we kick through that heel. Holding in the stomach strong, pressing into that left big toe. Going wherever we can today. Focusing on the breath. Inhaling with control, back up. Exhale, let the arms float down. Take a breath here. And then inhaling, lengthening back up. And as we exhale, we're going to start to fold forward, bending in those knees as much as we need to. Either just bringing the hands to the knees, maybe down to the floor. You might even be able to reach behind the ankles. And just letting the head hang, letting the neck relax. And taking a few breaths here as best as we can. Slowing the breath down. All right. Inhaling back up. Exhale. Take a breath. And then shifting the weight now into the left leg. We're going to get all the muscles straight and strong on that left thigh. Just kind of noticing the hips first. We're going to come onto the right toes. Engaging all the muscles in the left leg. Squeezing that muscles to the bone. Pressing into the left big toe. And then we're going to bend up the right knee. Try to get this leg in a 90-degree angle. Flexing the toes back. Trying to have the heel underneath the knee. And then we might just stay right here today. Just working on our balance. Or we're gonna bring the right hand out, just gently pressing that knee into the hand. We're focusing on the hip muscles instead of the thigh muscles. Back it off. And again, lift and press. Just with moderate effort, trying to activate the hip flexor muscles, back it off. And as we lift and press, noticing the hips, keeping them level, standing up tall. All right, lowering that foot down, taking a breath here, but still finding our stillness. And then shifting the weight into the right leg now. Really just focusing on getting all the muscles engaged in that right thigh, squeezing the muscles all the way up into the glutes. Standing up nice and tall first, just thinking about the head and neck all in one line. And then we'll bend up the left when you're ready. Maybe just staying right here today. Or we can bring out the left hand, gently pressing the knee into the hand. Thinking about the left hip, back it off. And again, lift and press. Pressing into that right big toe to help us with balance. Back it off. One more time, lift and press. Holding in the stomach strong. And then lowering all the way down. Taking a breath here. And then shifting the weight now, back into the left leg. Getting all the muscles contracted again, all the way up into the glutes, pressing into that left big toe. We're gonna bring the right foot up behind us. Bringing this right palm out, trying to grab the inside arch of the foot. Reaching this left arm up to the ceiling for standing bow. This is the pose right here. We can stay right here, or we can start to kick that back foot up as we let the chest come forward. Just trying to find balance between even kicking and stretching. Kicking the leg back as we stretch the arm forward. Focusing on the breath here. Letting it open that right shoulder up. Slowly coming down with as much control as we can. Taking a breath here. And then shifting the weight into the right leg now. Getting the muscles all contracted again in that right thigh. Squeezing the muscles up into the glutes. And then bending the left foot up behind us. We'll reach back, cupping the inside arch of the foot. So letting the palm face out. Reaching the right arm up. And then just staying right here. Or kicking that foot back and up. Lifting it with the power of the kick rather than pulling with the hand. Reaching the right arm forward. Just finding that right balance between even kicking and stretching. Focusing on the breath. And slowly coming back out of it with as much control as you can. Taking a breath here. All right, so coming down to the floor now. We're gonna come onto our hands and knees. Actually down to our elbows and knees. And then getting an interlaced grip with the fingers, we're gonna curl the toes under behind us, just like we do for downward dog. And then really pressing this fist into the ground first, pressing the forearms into the ground. We're gonna lift the hips, lifting the knees. Trying not to let the head go to the ground, just letting the head relax. Pressing the hands into the ground the whole time. Breathing here, pressing into the forearm. Focusing on the breath. Just getting those legs as straight as we can, but not worrying if they don't go all the way straight today. All right, then lowering down to the knees. We're gonna separate the hands now. Keeping the toes curled under behind us. We might just stay right here today, pressing the palms into the ground, pressing the toes into the ground, activating the stomach muscles. Or we're gonna go into a forearm plank. So lifting the knees, keeping those hips as low as we can, as we keep pressing the hands into the ground. Just looking down at the ground, holding the stomach strong as we keep breathing, not holding our breath. All right, then lowering all the way down, we'll uncurl the toes behind us, separating the feet towards the corners of the mat. We're gonna cross the arms and just rest the forehead on the back of the hands. So as we breathe here, crocodile pose is a resting pose, so just trying to let everything relax. Trying to relax the shoulders. And then just taking some slow, deep belly breaths while you relax here. Breathing deep, not just into the chest, but all the way down into the belly. And just relaxing everything on your exhale. Taking 2 more deep breaths, maybe counting the seconds as you inhale. And counting as you exhale. 1 more deep breath all the way into the belly. Exhale as you let everything soften. And then looking back forward, we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing ourselves back up. And then coming on to our hands and knees, we're going to do a kneeling side plank. So starting with the left side, we're going to line up this left wrist and the left knee, just having those in an imaginary line on the mat. And then noticing right now first, the wrist and shoulder, we don't want them in exactly one line. So we're going to walk the hand forward just a little bit so it's not right underneath the shoulder. And then extending this right leg back, we're going to try and get this right leg or right heel in line with the left knee and left wrist. This foot that's down here on the bottom on the left, we're going to keep the toes uncurled and keep pressing that heel into the ground. But we might go a little bit behind us, kind of like a kickstand, just to help us with balance. And then bringing this right hand up to the hip, we're going to keep pressing into the top of the shin on the ground, keep opening up this right shoulder, and we might just stay right here with the right foot on the ground, or you're going to lift the right foot up, flexing the toes back, really kicking through that heel as we keep lifting up out of this left shoulder. And then you might even reach the right arm up to the ceiling, focusing on your breath here. And if you've got your balance, okay, we're still pressing into that left shin and foot on the floor. We might turn our head and look up to that right thumb. Breathing here. Holding in the stomach, pressing into the top of that left shin. Reaching the right arm up, lifting out of the left shoulder. All right, coming all the way back down onto our hands and knees. Maybe rolling the wrist out. Taking a breath here. Then going on to the other side. This time we're going to line up the right knee and the right wrist. Getting those in one imaginary line on the mat. Bringing that right hand forward again a little bit so it's not right under the shoulder. Extending the left leg back. Getting that one in line with the right side. And then opening up, bringing that left hand to the hip. Opening the left shoulder up. Maybe just staying right here, pressing the left foot into the ground. Or we can lift the left foot up. Really pressing into the top of that right shin and foot. Flexing the toes back on the left foot as we breathe. Lifting up out of the right shoulder. Maybe lifting the left arm up to the ceiling. Breathing here. Looking up to that left thumb if you've got your balance and want to challenge yourself more. All right, and then coming back down to our hands and knees. Taking a breath here. Maybe rolling the wrist out if that hurts your wrist a little bit. And then looking down at the ground, I'm going to separate the knees about hip width distance, really holding in the stomach strong, keeping that belly lifted, just trying to keep that flat spine or neutral spine with a natural curve in it. We're going to reach the right arm forward and the left leg back. Flexing the toes, kicking through that heel as we lift up out of this left shoulder. Reaching the right arm forward. Holding in the stomach strong. Not holding the breath. And then switching it out. Bringing the arm and leg down. We're going to extend the left arm forward now, looking down at the ground. Reaching the right leg back. Flexing the toes back, holding in the stomach strong. Pushing into the top of that left shin and foot. All right, lowering the hands, lowering the knee. And then coming up to our knees now. You might turn sideways on your mat. We're going to extend the left leg out for gate pose. So just bringing the leg straight out from the hip, lining up that ankle with the hip, keeping the shoulders towards the front. We'll let the left arm just rest on the leg. So we inhale the right arm up and over. Keeping those shoulders to the front, so making sure this left shoulder doesn't come down. And then just keep reaching up on each inhale. It's like you're lengthening up through this left shoulder and arm. If you're super tight, you might still be way up here today. That's okay. Or you might keep walking the hand down the leg. So you keep lengthening through the side. Focusing on your breath here. Stretching the inside of that left leg and all the way down the right side. Slowly coming back up. We're going to switch out the legs now. Bringing that left leg in, right leg out. Keeping the toes uncurled behind us. We're just kind of gently pressing into the top of that shin and foot. Lining up the right ankle with the hip. Shoulders towards the front as we inhale. Reaching up tall. Exhale, going over to the right. Keeping this arm here, hand on the leg to support us. Maybe using it to help us go a little bit deeper. Breathing here. Just listening to our own bodies. Not worrying about what we wish we could do. Just focusing on what we can do today. Inhaling, coming all the way back up. Now we're going to come down to a seated position now down on the ground. Just bringing the legs out in front of us first. For our floor, for a spine twist, seated spine twist. So keeping the left leg straight out in front of us. We're going to cross the right leg on top. Trying to line up the ankle and the knee in about one line. Bringing the right hand behind us as close to the middle of the spine as we can. We're going to either hold this knee with the hand, or you might be able to get the elbow to the outside of the leg. We're going to inhale, lengthening up to the spine, sitting up nice and tall. And then as we exhale, twisting to the right, looking over the right shoulder. And then keep holding here as we breathe. With every inhale, lengthening back up. Every exhale, holding in the stomach as you twist. Breathing deep, moving with the breath. One more deep breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then looking back forward, we'll unwind the legs, switching it out. Keeping the right leg extended forward, crossing the left over the top. Holding that right knee with the hand, bringing that left hand behind us, or maybe getting the elbow to the outside again. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, twist. Looking over to the left or looking over that left shoulder. Breathing here. With every inhale, keep lengthening up through the spine. With every exhale, holding in the stomach as you twist. And then just keep lengthening through the spine. Keep breathing one more time. And twist, twist, twist. All right, looking back forward, we're going to uncross the legs. And then just bringing the right leg in now. We're going to get a stretch on the inside of this left leg. So keeping our hips and shoulders in one line, we're going to just walk the hands in the middle. So nothing really to stress over here or do. Just letting ourselves kind of passively stretch. Just noticing these toes though, making sure they don't roll forward. Just trying to get a stretch on the inside of the leg, stretching on the hips. And then just breathing here, breathing into any tension. Focusing on that breath. Sometimes when we hold the breath in our stretches and we make our body think we're in danger, flight or flight. So just focusing on that breath. Coming back up now, we're going to switch the legs out. So bringing the left leg in, right leg's going to come out. And just keeping those hips and shoulders in line again as we bring the hands straight into the middle. And then breathing here. Trying to keep our minds clear. Sometimes our mind wanders too when we're doing this. So just this is a good time to focus on the breath. One more deep inhale and exhale here. And then slowly coming back up. We're going to bring the legs back out in front of us now and lay all the way onto our backs. Extending the legs out long first. And then just kind of adjusting, trying to get the spine in one line. Bringing the heels together first. And then bringing the arms down beside us. You might bring them a little bit underneath the hips. We're going to flex the toes back on both of our feet. And as we inhale, we're going to lift the feet and lift the head, looking at the belly button, lifting the feet. You might just come up a little bit, or you might go all the way up. And then as we exhale, holding the stomach as we press the hands into the ground, lowering the feet and lowering the head. Taking a breath here. We're going to do that 2 more times. So as we inhale, pushing the hands into the ground, flexing the toes back as we lift the head and look at the belly button, lifting the legs. And then exhale, lowering as slow as we can, really pressing those hands into the ground to control the back and legs. Take a breath here, letting the toes fall out. And then 1 more time, bringing the feet back together, flexing the toes back. Inhale, lifting the feet. Even if you're just coming a little bit off the ground, that's fine. And then exhale, lowering all the way down. Bringing the arms out, letting the toes fall out. Just taking a deep breath here. And then bending our knees up now. We're going to keep the hands down to the floor. Then just walking the feet a little bit back towards the hips, separating the feet about hip width distance. We can almost touch them, or maybe barely touch them with the fingertips. Taking the big inhale, and then on our exhale breath, we're going to lift the hips up to the ceiling. First, just noticing our knees, so we can adjust the feet as we need to. And then really pressing the shoulders into the ground, and then pressing the hands into the ground as we keep lifting the hips. We don't have to lift them to the max on the first breath, but on every exhale breath, we're going to keep lifting a little bit higher as we keep pressing the shoulders into the ground. Breathing here, noticing the knees still, noticing the feet. We're going to really push the whole footbed into the ground, not just putting all the weight in the heels, but also pushing into that foot pad underneath the toes. 1 more breath here. And then slowly lowering back down, maybe going 1 vertebrae at a time if that feels good. And then bringing the knees into the chest now for wind relieving. Just wrapping the arms around. Maybe you're just holding the shins, or maybe you can reach for your fingertips. You might just grab one hand with the other or interlace the fingers. You might even reach the wrist or arms or elbows. And then just trying to relax the shoulders wherever we are and hug those knees into the chest. On every exhale breath, keep hugging the knees. Keep relaxing the spine towards the ground, lengthening through the neck and tailbone. 1 more deep breath here. All right, then lowering our feet down carefully 1 at a time to the ground. And then extending the legs out long 1 at a time. And then starting with the right leg, we're going to bend up the right knee, keeping the foot on the floor first, and then letting that hip and shoulder come up with the ground. We're going to use the left hand to guide that knee all the way down to the ground, or maybe putting that blanket under the knee. We might let the foot fall to the floor, or it might stay on the back of the left leg. And then reaching the right arm up to the ceiling, and then slowly lowering it towards the right side, keeping it in line with the shoulder. If you want to extend the twist into the head, you might follow the thumb with your eyes. And if you have any kind of shoulder pain and this hurts you, you can just keep that shoulder in and just gently open up. We're just trying to get a gentle spine twist here. Ideally bringing the arm out unless that hurts the shoulder. And then slowly coming back to the center. We're going to bend up both knees first, just to kind of shift the hips, trying to get everything back in one line. And then extending the right leg this time straight, keeping the left knee bent up. We'll lift that left hip up, reaching over with the right hand, guiding that knee down, all the way down to the ground. We want to get it anchored on the floor or on that blanket or pillow or whatever you've got nearby. Reaching that left arm up, and then slowly lowering the arm towards the floor. Not worrying if that arm never touches. Some people's shoulder and arm may go to the floor, others may never. It's okay, we're just kind of using this arm to help us twist the spine. Maybe twisting the head, extending the twist into the neck. And breathing here. Slowly coming back to the center. Excuse me. Bending up the knees, we'll shift the hips again, just kind of get everything back in one line. And then extending the legs out long for strong moon angel. So this one is focusing on the small muscle fibers all the way down our spine, kind of helping us strengthen our spine, help us keep from getting any spine injuries. So starting with our feet just straight out, we're going to walk the heels over to the left side of the body, keeping everything else right in line. And then flexing the toes back on our feet. We're going to keep the right hand down to the ground. We're going to turn this left hand so that the thumb is towards the ground and the back of the hand is pressing into the left thigh. And we're not really moving here, but it's like we're pressing the right leg into the left and the back of the hand into the left leg. It's like we're imagining that we're folding our body, but we're not really moving. And then relax everything for a bit, keeping the legs where they are. Now we're going to turn the left toes out and the right toes up. So it's like we're making a backwards L with the feet, keeping the heels together. Right arm is still flat to the ground. Left hand is going to turn to the back of the leg again with the thumb pointing down. And then again, it's like we're folding the body at the waist. We're pressing that right leg into the left, pressing the back of the hand, just thinking about the muscles along the spine. And then relax for a breath. We're going to turn the toes now, where you've got one foot on top of the other. So now the heels are going to separate, and we've just got the toes crossing. It doesn't matter which way. And then again, turning the hand where it's facing towards the ground, thumb towards the ground as we press right leg into the left, back of the hand into the back of the leg. And then let everything relax. Walking the heels back to the center now, and then over to the right side, keeping the upper body right where it is. Then this time we'll keep the left hand just relaxing on the ground. We're going to turn the right hand so the thumb is down towards the ground, pressing the back of the right hand into the thigh as we press the left leg into the right, back of the hand into the leg. Even just thinking about the little muscles along the spine can help activate them. And then relax. Now we're going to turn the right toes out and the left toes up, keeping the heels together. So we've got an uppercase L with the feet now. And then again, back of the right hand to the thigh as we press the hands and feet together. And then relax. Now we'll cross the toes, letting the heels separate, crossing right on left, left on right, either way. And then pressing the back of the right hand into the back of the thigh or thigh. Breathing here, thinking about the spine muscles. And then relax. Walking the feet back to the center for our final Shavasana and guided Yoga Nidra meditation. So as you lay here, first just trying to get your spine all back in one line. So bringing the feet together, just letting the heels come together first, and then just letting the toes fall out to the side. And then just adjust and move as you want to. Trying to get everything in one line. Allowing your toes to naturally fall outward. Maybe just separating your feet into a V shape. Letting your arms fall down to the side. Your palms facing up to the ceiling. Your arms can be close in or further out. Just seeing what feels most comfortable and trying to lay as still as you can through this whole practice. And first, just slowly turn your head from left to right a few times. Just trying to release any tension in the neck. Reaching your chin towards each shoulder. Lengthening and stretching your neck. And then bringing your head back to the center. Just letting your eyes close and relax. Relaxing the muscles throughout the whole body. And take a few long, slow, deep breaths. And on every exhale, let another part of the body relax and soften. And bring your attention now to the world around you. Listen to the sounds outside of the room. Bring your attention closer to any sounds you can hear inside the room. Allow yourself a moment to become aware of all the sensations around you. The sounds, the smells, the temperature. And visualize your own body resting on the floor. Become aware of your own physical presence in the room. Moving inward for a moment now, try to develop a statement of intention or resolve for yourself. This statement, called Sankalpa, should be made as if it were already true, using words like I am or I do, rather than I want or I will. Repeat this statement 3 times to yourself. Bring your awareness now back to your body on the floor. Laying as still as possible, bring your attention to each part of the body as it is mentioned. Do not move or tense any part of your body. Simply bring your awareness from part to part as I name them. Or maybe you wish to repeat the name of each part in your mind. Beginning with the right side of the body, bring your awareness to the right thumb. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, right waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, the entire right side of the body. Now bring your awareness to the left side of the body. Left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the chest, left waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, the entire left side of the body. Now bring your awareness to the back side of the body. Upper back, middle back, backs of the legs, right heel, left heel, the whole body together. Bring your awareness now to the breath. Feel the breath entering into your body through your nostrils. Follow the breath as it moves into the abdomen and chest. Follow the breath as it moves back out of the abdomen and chest, back through the nostrils. Feel energized by each inhale. Feel relaxed by each exhale. Continue to breathe deeply as you begin to count each breath backwards from 12 to 1, like this. 12 breaths in, 12 breaths out, 11 breaths in, 11 breaths out, and so on. Keep counting from 12 to 1. If you make a mistake or lose count, begin again with 12. Do not worry if you do not make it to 1. with total awareness that you are counting. Go on counting from 12 to 1. Stop counting wherever you are now and return to your breath, noticing the calmness of the breath, the evenness of the breath. Remember and reflect on the statement of intention or resolve that you made for yourself at the beginning of this practice. Repeat this statement to yourself again 3 times. And take a slow, deep inhale, a long, complete exhale, and become aware of how you feel as we come now to the end of our Yoga Nidra practice. Notice a sense of calm in your whole body. And begin to move outward again, becoming aware of the room around you. Feel your body on the floor. And feel all the space surrounding your body. Hear all of the sounds, both near and far. And begin to slowly move your fingers or toes, stretching your arms or legs, flexing your feet back. Maybe rock your head from side to side, or bend your knees up and gently rock your knees from side to side. Just taking your time here to move and stretch, slowly waking the body back up. Noticing the sounds, noticing everything around you, remembering the room that you're in. And just opening the eyes as you're ready. Keeping moving and stretching different parts. And then as you're ready, roll over to one side, gently pushing yourself up, maybe laying on the right side for a minute. Then you might just cross your ankles and rock up to a seated position. So we can do our final deep breathing exercise, just to help us get some more oxygen to the brain, wake ourselves back up a little bit. So we're going to do a 2-part breathing exercise, just to help us focus on breathing deep into the belly instead of the shallow chest breathing that we typically do, losing a lot of the muscle strength over the time, causing breathing problems as we get older. So finding whatever position is comfortable for you to sit in. You might grab a bolster or a pillow to sit on, or just sitting cross-legged on the floor. We want to be able to sit up nice and tall for this. You might choose to put your hands on the stomach and on the chest, just to kind of feel and help yourself notice where you're breathing. So as we inhale in, we're going to breathe first into the belly instead of the chest, filling up the stomach first, then the lungs second. And then as we exhale, we'll go the opposite way, letting the air come out of the lungs first. And as we keep exhaling, pulling in the belly, inhale again, belly, chest, exhale out of the chest, out of the belly. Inhale again, still sitting up tall, breathing into the belly and into the lungs. Exhaling out of the lungs, out of the belly. 2 more, going at your own pace, just breathing into the belly first, and then filling up the lungs, out of the lungs, out of the belly. 1 more as we sit up tall, deep belly breath. Exhale, out of the belly last. And then just returning back to your normal breath. And thank you for joining me for Everybody Yoga. Namaste.